Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Tech Condo. My name is Petra Verbruggen, and that will be printed right here. There you go. Welcome, welcome. A little bit later than normal, but I am live as I always do. Most likely on the Saturday, as much as I can. Today was a little bit of an awkward day. That's the reason why it's 1.5 hours later than normal. My dad was here, but he came here and he was ill. So I took him back home and he's now lying in his bed. We know exactly what's going on. It takes about 3-4 hours. And so by 10 o'clock-ish tonight, it's going to be better than it is right now. So I'm not worried. He's not worried. However, we did get a bit of a scare at the start. That's the reason why I'm a little bit late. But welcome everybody. Welcome. Great of you to be here. I do not have a cat sitter today, so we might see some 4-feeters coming past this studio. We'll see what happens if that happens. MT is in the house as always. He was here early, like he always is. But also I see Gerard is here all the way from Oost-Friesland, which is, I didn't realize, but indeed Friesland is also a Dutch province. So I presume it has something to do with each other. It probably will be in roughly in the same area. Grüßen aus der Nord, or from the north. MT says, and also indeed, best wishes to my dad. Hope he's gonna be okay. Tomorrow it's gonna be okay. I'm totally fine. And Harry says, here we go again, indeed. Greetings from Johannesburg, all the way from South Africa, of course. Best wishes for a complete and speedy recovery for your dad. Thanks a lot. We'll really appreciate it. And Kevin is in the house as well. Made it just in time. Welcome everybody. Welcome. So what's the deal? So this is the Q&A. This is the monthly Q&A where we can talk about everything that you guys really want to talk about. So it's it really depends on what you want to know. Olympus Nats is also in the house. Best wishes to my dad. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. And also from Croatia, welcome, guys. Really appreciate you for being here. All right. So Q&A means that you guys are in control. You can we can discuss things what you like to do. However, I do have something that I want to show you a little bit about, because it has been quite a challenge this last week. You might have noticed that last week I wanted to talk about my new Constellation 2ME, which I happen to have the box here, right here. This is the box right there, the Atem 2ME Constellation HD. And I already told you that it's quite a challenge to get cables of the right length, that kind of stuff, but also some other gear that I needed, like for example, I don't know how to say that, but I don't want to go all the way in the back of the 19-inch rack. So I want to have these couplings, the D-Link, Nutric, I don't even know what they're called, chassis parts. So I'm waiting for those. They're still not here. They're probably going to be here this coming Monday. And I also still need more cables, because I have this big 2ME switcher, and of course I want to really use it quite a lot. But I also wanted to. Actually, what I did this past Friday and Thursday is that I threw everything out of the rack. Well, not the way like it just sat nicely, of course. And I did the cabling a little bit. I actually took a notice that I wanted to really tuck away the power cords. That is actually done quite nicely. I think that once I'm done, I will show you what the end results looks like. I really think it looks great. That's at least my opinion. And I did have yesterday. I had a feeling that my 12 by 12 video hub, the matrix that I have, that it was broke. It took me it took me about 2 hours. I could not find everything. I tested everything, and I called the my support of the company that I always buy the Black Magic gear from. And well, they were so friendly to call me back quite fast, and so we were going back and forth. And I said, "Hey, well, I'm going to take a picture of the network settings. Let's do that just in case." And I took the picture. I looked at it, still didn't see anything, and then it turned out that fat fingered, or there's this knob that you can just make it not 192 193, right? So that was exactly the error. It stated 193, and I just didn't see it at all. So, but it's working again. So the video app is working, and let me show you what it looks like. I did see the first question coming in, so I will be talking about that as well. The Pro Presenter, or Roadcaster Pro, I mean. But let me show you the setup that I have right now. Let me just make sure that there's no audio. There you go. And if I do this, you will probably have less, not so good audio. Sorry for that. So I will just make sure that. There you go. Boom. So this is the rack. This is the air conditioning unit right there. But this is the rack that I've been using or working on quite a lot these days. And as you can see on the top, you see my X32 mixing board, which is not connected at the moment. But I will purchase a second 8U unit on top of it. That will be right there. And then together, this is going to be the audio 8U. And this is going to be the video 8U. And as you can see, the switcher is all the way down below. Then below that switcher, there is still the Atem Mini Extreme, which I'm using for ISO recording. Then in the center is the 12 by 12 video router. I will be talking about that very shortly. Some SDI to HDMI converters for the output signals at the back. And then on top of that, the Ultra Studio, the HyperDeck Studio Mini, the old one, the loud one. And on the right-hand side, the Web Presenter HD. And on top of that, the comms control. That's roughly it. And indeed, it does have its own network. So this is the Taekwondo mobile network that you can see right here. And this is really to make sure that everything is on a single network, a local network, with the exception of the Web Presenter. So the Web Presenter right there is on the one or the internet, and the rest is all local. So that is what the rack looks like right now, and I'm actually very, very, very pleased about that result right there. Let me get rid of this right now. There you go. And I'm really liking that rack unit, and I will be showcasing a few things that I already figured out. I am at the moment learning the new 2ME, and I have to tell you, it's quite daunting, even though it looks quite similar to the Atem Mini, but you have so much additional gear that is really cool, and we'll be talking about that definitely. Let me see. Kevin says cable management, the flight packs is such a nightmare. Yes, it is. Yep, it is definitely. And if you are very handy and you can create your own SDI cables or your own length, then that would be great. I could do that, but I then need to buy a soldering device, and then I just buy 50 centimeter cables, and they're basically good enough for what I want. Yeah. So MT says, great thoughts of separating the internet for the system network. Yeah. So indeed, so on the top you saw that Asus Wi-Fi router. That Asus Wi-Fi router has two functions. Uh, it actually provides DHCP to some of the components. So it's a DHCP server. It also provides Wi-Fi network for example, to my phone or my iPad to use Mix Effect, for example, but also if needed to switch via my laptop if it does not have a network switch. In the back of the unit, and I didn't show you that, there is a separate eight pin or eight connections switch with PoE. It is limited PoE wise, so I did already see that if I put on too much PoE, something will break. So I actually needed to add one more power cord than I wanted, but hey, the way it goes. But I will definitely also utilize my Ubiquiti PoE switch that I also own for as an additional setup for example, PTZ camera control and the Skagoi devices. So, but it is very, very handy that you have your own DHCP server available to you, so that you can also provide MAC address based IP address, so you know always where you can find stuff. Maybe that is something that you are interested in. So if you want to know how I create my own network with that Asus device, let me know. Just say local network, yes, then I will arrange that there will be a separate video on that topic. So that is that part. Ostfriesland is next to West-Friesland. West-Friesland is the northeast edge from the Netherlands. Ostfriesland is the northwest edge of Germany. Yep, got it. Yep. All right. MT, did you hear about the new Rodecaster Pro 2? Yes, I heard about it, and as you know, I used the Rodecaster Pro, the old one, number one, for myself. I have been using it quite a lot to do when I still had my radio show. These days a little bit less, but I still like that I have this small kit that I can easily go to a small setup, because of course bringing along 16 U's of equipment for a very simple stream, that may be a little bit overkill, to be honest. So this is really that what you just saw is really for bigger productions that are multiple people working on the production, so that it is really going well. So the way that I'm envisioning it is even that I'm actually using partly the vMix computer, partly ProPresenter, and then a lot of other stuff there as well. So that's the way that I'm envisioning it at the moment. I'm nearly there. I've got my own tables. I have already identified which monitors that I want, because I currently use one 23-inch monitor and one 17-inch monitor. The 17-inch monitor is inside of the rack, but I've decided that the inside of the rack will become either a web presenter monitor, so that I can always see what the end state is, so that I can exactly see how the interface goes to the internet. And then I will purchase two additional monitors, which will be 27-inch, both of them most likely LG as the brand. And those will then, I still need to figure out how to put them in the flight case, but those two will be set side by side on a table. I will be using my X32 Touch, something like that, or yeah, I think it's called X32 Touch, for switching the audio rack, and a control device yet to be announced, because I don't know, for the Blackmagic Constellation HD. I really hope that Blackmagic will provide a micro advanced panel, because that will be perfect for me. The advanced panel by itself is also really nice, to be honest, but it's really expensive as well. But the Rodecaster Pro, let's talk about that. The Rodecaster Pro. So let's get that website so that we can really talk about it together. Because I think it's a really great upgrade if you really need it. Rodecaster. I think that it's still against that Pro Presenter, right? Rodecaster Pro, indeed. Let me get that link so that we are all on the same site. This is the old one. I want the other. I want the new one. There you go. Yes. So here you go. So this is the new Rodecaster Pro 2. It will be released in 16 days. And as you can see, it roughly has a bit of the same look and feel as the old one. However, it's more flexible, and maybe I can click on learn more. So what is the difference between the old one and the new one? In order to see that, oh, this is not the way that I want to work. So these faders that you see right here, on the old one, they are pre-defined. So this is always XLR1. This is always XLR2. Let me increase the size. There you go. So this is always XLR1. This is always XLR2. This is always XLR3, XLR4. Then we have, I believe on top of my head, the TRRS inputs, and then a Bluetooth. But now you can pick and choose whatever you like. It's always okay. You can just change whatever you like. You can also change the color, so it doesn't have to be purple, blue, green, and blue. It can also be all purple or whatever you like. These knobs that you can see up here are matching with those four. So if you turn this yellow one to I don't know, red, then the yellow one at the very back of the orange one, I mean, will also to turn red as well. So they're all connected to each other. What I really like about this is that it's also USB-C compatible, so you can also connect USB microphones as well, which by itself will also allow you to purchase less the same quality microphones, but at a lesser price. And let me see what else I can tell you. So these pads are now called smart pads. I have to admit that I don't know anymore what that means, but I do know that these arrows here, you can easily go through all of the banks. Let me see if I can figure out what that smart pads were already. The FX processor is still there, the same as in the old one. SmartPad, yeah. Trigger on the fly voice effects like reverb, echo. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So these are the tools that I have at my disposal with the Go XLR, which I have on my desk here. But that will now also be available if you have a Rodecaster Pro 2, which is I think great. And still a lot of functionality there. I really like the design. It's also smaller than the previous one. So is this something that I will purchase? I don't think so at the moment. Due to the fact that I'm really already pleased with this setup. I really like the old one already, and I think that it's then I would like to purchase it because I like it, but I'm not going to use all of the stuff that's on it. So it doesn't make sense to me to purchase it myself. But I do think it's a good extension. Absolutely. Oh. MT says the new Pro Presenter has 4 XLR combo inputs among with 2 USB-C recording and stuff. That's right. You can also, and I don't know if it's already at the moment, but it's definitely part of the roadmap. You can also utilize one of those USB-C ports as a external hard drive so that you can record to a hard drive, which is fantastic in my opinion. I love that. I love that possibility on that one. So it might be still a good one to think about. Namaste, namaste. Raul says, how far is the mic away from you? It's quite close to me at the moment, but I think that you hear a lot of fan noise. And again, that is because I am using the video hub the video hub and the hyperdeck do have a lot of fan noise. Now, I can, if I would like to, modify the 12x12 video hub, but it's still under warranty, and as long as it's under warranty, I'm not going to change it. But it's literally here. This is where the microphone is, but the fan noise is something I cannot do anything about at the moment. It's quite close. Let me show you again how close it is, and if I do this, you will hear some static. So I'll try to do it as far away as possible. There you go. Hopefully it will pick it up in just a minute. There you go. And I will show you how close it is by putting it right next to me and then say, there you go. So this is where I am. This is where you guys are right there. This is where you can see me that I'm holding it next to my face. And this is the Go XLR right there. And you see that it's quite loud. It's the way that I like it. And here you already have that unit right there. So it's extremely close. This one is not switched on. If that one is switched on, I will still use my do my show. However, I will then use that headset right there on the trussing. That headset has a microphone built in, so that I can actually just talk with you, even though the air conditioning is switched on. So that is where the 19-inch rack is, right there. There you go. So that's the reason why it's so that you hear some fan noise, I presume. There are a few questions coming in. Rudy Engels said, Tom Buck went totally nuts with it. Yeah, I believe so too. I'm not saying it's that is not great. Just to clear that up, I think it's great, but I've already invested a lot in this setup, and I can do whatever I like with the current setup. So I do not need that that upgrade at the moment. Now, if I would create a Tech Condo podcast, for example, in the future, that might be something, but at the moment I don't think so. Then that would be a great idea to invest in that. Noise-free preamps. That's cool. But that's also the old one, to be honest. The RCP2 can trigger MIDI. It is possible to control the Atem Extreme with it. You can perform that already on the RCP1 as well. So I can switch with the RCP1 already. Also on, don't know if it's on the Atem, but definitely the V-Minx you can switch with the pads without any problems with the old one already. So that's not a reason to buy the new one. Oh no, I did not see that gain range. That's impressive. That's really impressive. No, I did not see that. That's impressive. Spotcha, welcome. Hello, good of you to see you here. There are no cats spinning here at all. Definitely not. I hope that you. I'm putting my phone away as far as I can at the moment. On TV channel, good evening. Welcome, welcome. You did not miss much today. I started a little bit later. Are you planning to have guests? Yes, of course. Yes, I am actually. We still need to have MT on the show one day, right? So I think that would be the first one. I also want to talk to Rudy if he wants to come to the show. I think that would be very, very cool. And I will also try to get other people on board. I might be able to get VMix on board here for a show. So maybe Tim or maybe even Burdock. So I can definitely try, if you'd like that kind of content, to have that done. Hey DJ Ware, what's going on? How are you? Okay, so I promised that I showed you a little bit about my first impressions on the new Atem that I own. Now, again, these are first impressions, so don't sue me if I don't know everything at the moment. But the starting point is there. So let's start with the Atem switcher, but I will only do the software part of it at the moment because I cannot really do everything at the moment yet. It's coming. It's coming really soon. Okay, so here we go. So this is the first thing, and that is the Atem setup. One thing to notice that if I would press the Atem 2ME, the Constellation ED setup icon, you cannot really do a lot here. You do need to connect via a USB cable to do a lot of changes, like for example the network or the name of the unit. Now, I think that the name of the unit is okay enough at the moment, but the IP address is something that I really want to change more often, because actually, if I am on my local network, I need to change this to 61. Yes, 61. Otherwise, it will not work. And the reason why it will not work is that I'm actually also utilizing the GPI and tele interface. And that one is actually looking into a switcher IP address. And the switcher IP address is 61. So you cannot see it right here, but it's looking for a switcher on IP address 61. And this one has 60. So that is that part right there. So if I click on this icon, then it will start up the Atem software control, and have to wait a little bit longer for it to load. And this is what it looks like. And well, at the moment, it doesn't look that daunting, right? Because okay, you have a little bit more buttons, but it's still only 10 buttons, etc., etc. But don't let it fool you, because if I make it the full screen width, there you go. Yes, there are a lot of buttons there. It's quite daunting, to be honest. Now, what do you see? So here below, you see the 1ME effects. So the below area right here. That is the one that's actually resulting in changes on the device itself. So if you look on the device itself that I just showed you, there are also buttons. Those buttons will only respond to the lower end of this page. So only to this part it will show you stuff. What does that mean? Well, you have what we call 2ME. So you got, this is Mix Effects 1. So this is the main Mix Effects. And then on top of that you have Mix Effects 2. And this is a child. This one is a child of this one. That's the way that I envision it at the moment. So that means that I can switch here what I want, even immediately to program, but you will not see it unless I change this one to ME2. So now if I press this one and I'll change something here, then you will see it on the program out. Otherwise, you will not see that. So this button right here that I'm switching now, that is the connection between the upper layer and the lower layer. Well, that's quite interesting. What is also quite interesting and is that you can also do something else, and that's on the output side of things. You now have a time generator. This is just a local time, and this is just for you as a producer to show you what to see how you are doing. Are you still on time? That kind of stuff. But what if you want to also show something to your audience? Now that is also now possible, and I can show you that to you. And this is also one of the things that I've figured out that I've done wrong, but that's okay because I'm not doing it yet. But if I go here to counter, you can actually set a counter. For example, if I would set this one for, I don't know, 1 minute, and I would say start, then at the moment nothing is happening. But if I go to output on top of there and I say to output 1, I want to see the counter overlay, then you will see something, but you will not see it here. So what I'll do is that I'll start this countdown by hitting start. But before I do that, I will start my phone again, because let me show you that I'm doing that at the moment. So I'm now opening NDI camera, waiting for it to load to the yep. So what I'm going to do is that I will be switching on this 1 minute countdown, like here, start, and then I will show you what happens in the studio. There you go. So you can actually see that, wait for it. Yeah, you can actually see that it will go to the output 1. So what I've learned now is that my program out should never go via output 1 because output 1 is the only one that allows for that counter. So output 1 is actually, I would state, the one that you will provide a confidence monitor to your to the talent, so that they know exactly how much time they have left before the end of that counter. And I think that that's a very nice setup right there. What I've always also saw, is that it also has the possibility to perform mix minus. I think because if I select this, there's nothing. Everything is grayed out. I think that to make this work, I need to have a separated audio track coming in via the two inputs on the left hand side. So sorry, right hand side of the back of the unit. Because I think that is needed for mix minus to work. So that's something that I need to figure out. But if that works, then that's great, because with mix minus you can say I want to have the whole program except for my voice, which is fantastic. So if you have like a delay and you want to bring in guests, then that is not a big problem. So talking about guests, that was one of the questions of today. So that reminded me. So indeed, here you go. So you can just here select mix minus, and then if you have that done, you can select which output that you want to exclude, which was interesting that that's working. Multi-view, there are two multi-views, this one right here, with up to 20 cameras. But I also added super source here instead of media player 2, but I actually want to change camera 20 to super source. And have media player 1 right here, because that is more closely to my setup. You see, what I've done is that for key and fill is that the key information is always at the back of the unit. So like 1920, that those two channels are just key information. So I'm I'm not interested from a content perspective. And that relates to 9 and 10 on the switcher, so that you always get a better situation right there, a better camera, so you don't have to skip multiple cameras. That's what I wanted to prevent. I want to have all the content next to each other, and all the let's say extras or the technology part at the back of the unit. I don't care about that from a content perspective. So yeah, those are a few things that I've seen. What I also saw was that the output is unbelievably big. So this is all output, 12 times output. It's amazing. I'm literally thinking, I don't know if I can actually fill this baby up. I don't think so. I don't think that I can do that. No chance, in my opinion. So that is a very quick overview on the Atem. MT asks, the counter shows up as an overlay. Yes, it does. Can I show it to you? Yes, of course I can show that to you. Let me do, but then I need to do something here. So let's do that together, because I'm learning. I think in order to do that, I need to first set a color. So I just will go with color. A nice, what is the color 2? Wait. Color 2. Let's do color 1. That's nice. A nice yellow color 1. So that's the backdrop now. And then I just hit output 1 overlay. And let's see if I can start this. Yeah, that's not readable. Let's change the color a little bit. So let's go to palettes, color generators. Let's make this one, I don't know, bluish, a little bit dark blue, like this. There you go. Yeah, that's perfect. And now you can see it. So now I can show it to you. So I will go back to my unit, my NDI application. Oops. Let me go back to my shot. There you go. Because I made a mistake. NDI camera. Waiting for it. There you go. So I turned, just a quick summary, I turned the color to blue, so I have a blue backdrop, and this will also show you that the countdown is an overlay. So now let's go back to this device right here and then show it to you. There you go. There you go. So yeah, so that works. So as an overlay, but it only works on output 1. So that is a bit of a bummer. Let me put it back to yellow. Put it back to yellow. Yep. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So that's that one right there. That was awesome. Other questions? Rob says, great for the possibility of having guests in. Yes, indeed, Rob, that's definitely the case. And also if it's local and, for example, you have a like a hybrid meeting, for example, then the talent or the presenter can actually see how much time he or she has left, and that is fantastic. And again, you have that mix minus also will help you to, for example, bring in multiple Microsoft Teams or Zoom calls, and then still have the possibility to make sure that there's a mix minus. So that's great. Rob also says, love the hard case and hardware on it. Yeah, in it. Yeah. It's definitely fantastic. Thanks, Rob, for also being here. MT says, we created a green screen setup on the second ME, and we filled the output into the first ME as a source. Yeah. That is awesome. That is definitely a good use case. So yeah, one thing that I've already noticed with the second ME is that it is so handy to pre-compose what you want to show right there, because everything that you do right there, you cannot see it anyway. So you have all the rest in the production to make it work, to fix it up front, and then once you're done, you can just switch to it. And it will also help, I believe, but that's my humble opinion, is that as you can have one person pre-composing the 2ME, and the main switcher just has to go to that 2ME, and then boom, you have it, which is great. So having issues with switching might not happen that much. I just saw the little drop down across the countdown. So could you choose another option than countdown? Yes, you can. Let me show you again. Let me go back and go here. All right, so so in the output pane, you can then set under countdown. You can also say count up. So now you can just count up to for example, you can only talk for 3 minutes. So here you will see that you are already having a discussion for 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And this is specifically when it doesn't really matter so much if it's exactly 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes, but at least that you have a possibility to know how much time that segment, because basically it's always about segments, are. Also, you might notice that you can also set the position, you can set the size, you can set opacity. So if you really want to make it a bit more readable, you can center it, and you can blow it up like this big right here. So that is really cool about that counter. You cannot do that with the time code generator. That is not the possibility. And again, the counter is only available on output 1. So yeah, again, you have a lot of outputs at your disposal. It's quite amazing in my opinion. Then I want, maybe if it's okay with you guys, I want to show you something else which was really interesting, and I didn't know that would be possible. There's actually a tryout, no more, no less. But I already told you that I have a video hub, and I still think that I still need to really talk about that video hub, because this is basically the interface that you have on your computer. So you can actually then switch which camera input goes to which camera output. So that's really handy, because one of the use cases that I'm thinking about is that, for example, if I have as a source camera 1, I want to bring it live into my video switcher, but I will also want to record it on my my Atem Mini Extreme ISO. So the 2ME Constellation HD does not have ISO recording, but my Atem Mini Extreme ISO does have that. So what I can do is that, well, of course, because I have 12 outputs on the switcher, I can dedicate a few of them to then just via a converter, a micro converter, like I have one here on my desk, which unfortunately is tied in, but Maybe I can show it to you anyway. There you go. Have to be careful. But these converters are not that expensive. They are like 40 euros, 50 euros. And with that, if you have a few of those, you can just, from the output of the switcher, you can just put it into the Atem Mini Extreme. However, there's a catch. And for me, it's not a big problem, but in some cases it is. And the catch is that you will get on all of the outputs your program out. So you don't have the possibility to say, I want to have a pass-through of the audio directly from camera 1 all the way to output 3. That's not possible. So that is a bit of a bummer. So, but what you can do is that you can utilize, for example, the video hub right here. So what I can do is that I say, okay, my destination 1 is, for example, this is the input of my switcher, the 2ME Constellation, but I will want also to record input 1 on my Extreme. For example, I can say that that is number 7. So number 7 is now connected to the input 7. But what I can do is that I can just not connect it to 7, but to connect to 1. So now, if I go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7, you see that I've now successfully, just by that single click, only that single click, I have now distributed that signal to 2 different places. But if I don't like it, I want to go to 8, I can also do that. I can just say that also goes to 8. So now 1, 7, and 8 are all going to 8. And then I want to change that 1 back. So now you will see that 8 is going to 1, which is fantastic, right? That's amazing. That is so handy because now it doesn't really matter which connection you put an input connector on the back of the unit. I can just flip around with it without any problem, the way that I like it to have it at that time. So maybe at the start of during preparation, I think, okay, it's logical to have camera 1 as the main camera 2 as the close-up camera 3 left, camera 4 right. Oh no! I want to have camera 1 as the zoomed in version. But it's just a matter of 1 click away and it's done. You don't have to go at the back of the unit. You don't have to go into the software of the switcher itself to mimic it a little bit. No, this is working like that. So easy. So that is great about this video hub. And the audio is also passed through. So you will get on a channel 8 the camera input of camera 1 and with the audio of camera 1, not the program, which is fantastic in some cases. Not always, but in some cases that's fantastic. Now comes the kicker. I did not really know this. I was not even thinking about this. But I can do something even more cool. And that is the following. I can actually go in this radar control dish and I can go to select video hub. And there's another one right here. I wonder what that is. Oh, it's the 2ME Constellation HD. That's right. So here you see all the sources that are available in the 2ME Constellation. I have 45 sources in that 2ME, ranging from just a black input to all of the cameras, so until camera 20, the color bars, the color 1, the color 2. You see the media player 1 with the key, the media player 2 with the key, and the media player ME1 masks, ME all kinds of masks. The super source, of course, you can see as well here. A clean feed if you like. So if you don't want to have the overlays and you want to record that separately, I can do that. That's fantastic, in my opinion. And you can also see the previews if you like. So for example, why I like this ME2 that much is that even though I can see ME1 and ME2 in a screen on the multi-view, but maybe it's too small for, to build up the super source, for example. I can now put that one specifically to one of the outputs and project it on one single monitor, because it works exactly the same. I can just say I want to have ME2, that 44, I want it to go to another destination. Now, the way that it works is that you really need to go to a ME. So, for example, I'm just going to, it's already done. For example, here you see that output 15, but there's no output 15 Petra. So let's go to output 12, and I can actually now say, no, I don't want to have this on output 12. I want to have it on ME2. So now my output ME2 is actually connected to ME2. So output 12 is ME2. Is that the case? Let's see if that is the case. So now let's go to output 12, and it is indeed ME2. And let's try to make that a little bit work so that you can see it. So now it says, there's a slight issue. It does crash occasionally. Let me go back. But that might be because of my network setup that I have at the moment. Because if I have it only locally, there's no issues. But well, all right. Let's make it small side by side so that we can see what we're doing. Okay. So here we have. Okay, wait. There we go. So here we have outputs. Output 12 is ME2. But if I would change that to ME1, so this, and I just click, so I make sure that I've selected 12, pressed ME1, then I go back to output to 12, and boom, there you go, ME1. That was amazing, right? I was shocked when it's very logical that's possible, but I did not think about that at all. So that was a new feature that I didn't realize. The only way to show titles using the Atem is with the hyperdeck, right? No, you don't have to do that via the hyperdeck. You can also pre-create titles in Photoshop, for example, or in another tool, as long as it's and then of course it has either a black or green backdrop or transparent backdrop, one of the three, and you can just put it into the media player and then you can show it. But there's one but. It is a still, so it's just one title and that's it. So you can just push it on like I do right here. It's actually the same thing. So I push it in here like so, and that's it. The only thing is that I have to pre-create the whole thing, including the text. That's different than, of course, I show right here. But that was bad times. That's crazy. But nah, we're not going to do that today. So that is one option. What you also can do, and that is also something that I have not done yet, but with the new hyperdeck, the new Atem Mini, you also have the possibility to create a nice stinger. So here, if you go here to this media bin, if I would click on the media bin, then you will see that you have not only 40, that is 40 stills that you can choose. You can also here you go. You can also not only have stills but also small clips that you can use as a stinger. So, and those can include audio as well. So if you want to have a little bit of a swoosh, sorry about that. Sorry for your ears. But if you want to have something like this, then you can make that in the Atem, which is fantastic. That is possible right there. So yeah, I'm impressed. I'm generally impressed by this this product. There was one more question that I saw. MT says count up is great. Maybe in the later update they could add a possibility to show the current time. Yeah, that would also be great. I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place, because they already have the time code generator anyway. So I don't know. Awesome. You've got 45 more inputs along with the 12 inputs the video hub already has. Looks like so much to play with. Yeah. I mean, it's so unbelievably powerful units at the moment. So I really literally am like, I think I will never have the possibility to have everything connected up. I don't believe that. So I'm really, I don't know. By the way, for you guys, something totally different. Because we have a special guest in the studio. Whoa! There he is. That's Scooter himself right there. Scooter. No. Nope. Let's see. Let's hope he's not gonna break things. So that was quite I was quite impressed by that. So yeah, so that's what I had in mind for you. If you have any other questions, let me know, because otherwise I'll just stop a little bit early today. Next week, of course, we will continue this. I hope by then that I will have the full setup connected, so that I can really show you the multi-view. I can show you maybe some cameras that are connected via SDI. And I will also verify that audio thing, because I want to understand if that mixed minus works the way that it is. Scooter does, well, he does speak a little bit Nederlands, but not so much. I do. So yeah, but Scooter is a cool cat. He's only very let's say very active. Yeah, I need to have a cat cam indeed. I totally agree with that statement. Yes. All right. Well, that's I think all the time that I have for you today. It was a little bit of a different show than expected. Hope that you're okay with that. Next week, of course, I will be back with a new show. Looking forward to it. We'll try to get the system all up and running. I will, if I can hook up 3 cameras, I'm already happy, so that I can really show you the ins and outs of the Blackmagic the Blackmagic Constellation HD 2ME. Maybe in a later stage I will have a video on top of that, the internet, how I do that. I think that's also something. Indeed, very important, Gerard. I totally agree. Don't forget to smash the like button. And if you don't like it, then just press it 2 times. That will do also. That's also great. And next to that, I thank you very much for being here. So sweet. Thanks, MT. Really appreciate it. I will be calling my dad to see how he's doing. I hope that he feels better than he did just a couple of hours ago. But you guys, don't worry about him. We know exactly what's going on. There's nothing to worry about. It's just a big annoyance. That's it. Thanks a lot. Have a fantastic weekend and see you around. Bye-bye.